Hello everyone and welcome back to my studio and my very interesting life, where in today's instalment we think we've got rats in the attic or in the loft, whatever you call it. It's not another room up there. It is a room, but it's just like full of insulation and that's it. And the last couple of days I've heard, that's my impression, mostly at night, but I can still hear it through the day. There's also some old defunct pipes from ages ago that we've been meaning to sort out for ages that run from downstairs to upstairs. You can see them on the outside of the wall. They run to what is now an old water tank, and they need to be taken out, but there's like a little gap behind the pipes where the plastering, they should have been boxed in really, or they should have been put in the wall, but whoever did them did a really bad job of plastering around it, and there's a tiny little bit of a gap behind, and there has been a little bit of coal mortar, which is what these old houses, this is built in the 1900s, there's been a little bit of coal mortar falling down, so I don't know if they're just like running around down there and it's dislodging it, or they're trying to come in. Either way, I don't want rats in my attic. Last 2 nights I've been sleeping on the sofa. Not that they're in the main body of the house, that I know anyway, but every time I was trying to get to sleep, I could hear this little my brain couldn't switch off from it, so I've been sleeping on the sofa. Anyway, long story short, this is interesting. Is it interesting? I really don't want the interesting times to be carrying on, to be honest. This is pertinent to the illustration vlog because we need to get access to the attic. The only access is via a very, very small hatch in this cupboard here. It's not a proper loft hatch. We're going to get one of those. I've decided we're going to get one of those. It's just a bit of board which is screwed in underneath the insulation. I know you're going to rip me one in the comments, I'm sure. Please don't though. We're going to try and do this humanely, catch and release. I know it's really tricky with rats and rodents to do that. I want exterminating them to be the last possible solution. I want to try and get some of those ultrasonic sound emitters to put up there as well. We're going to get our house pointed because that's been on our list for ages, and you know, if there are any gaps that they can get in from outside, I want those filled in. This isn't going to be a today job. This is going to be a today job, sorting this out. But yeah, we're going to fill in all the holes. We're going to do the sound emitters. We're going to try and make it inhospitable for them. If that doesn't work, last case scenario, I know you're going to be like, oh, but it's your house, they're going to take over, whatever. But we're going to try anyway. It's their little life. Surely their little life's energy is worth my effort to try and find humane solutions. It's a horrible decision to have to make. The problem with the loft access being in this cupboard is that it is chock full of all of my small business stock. So we're going to have to clear all of this rubbish out from in front of it, which has accumulated. We're going to have to open this up, get all the stock off the shelving unit that's in there. We have to take everything out. We're going to have to relocate the shelving unit in here somewhere, which will involve moving some of these things around. You will soon come to realise, if you're new to the channel, that my life is like a sliding puzzle. Remember those little sliding puzzles where you're supposed to make a picture and it's like a square full of other squares and there's one gap and you've got to slide them all around until you get it? That's basically my life. So I'll have to move the furniture in here. I'm thinking maybe moving this brown cabinet behind you and putting the shelving unit in there here, just so that can remain open. So when we do go up, which is going to have to be soon, it's not going to be a load of faffing, moving things out of the way and all that stuff. It'll already be done. It's not an ideal solution, but it's what we got. I had hoped that this video was going to be me mounting some original art, but it isn't. First, before I do all that job, I need to go to a DIY store where I've done a click and collect on some of those ultrasonic sound emitters. If you can hear a rumble, that was my belly. I haven't had any breakfast yet. So I've ordered some ultrasonic sound emitters. I've ordered a catch and release rat trap and a catch and release mouse trap. I figured, even though I think it is probably rats, it's worth having something like that. I mean, I live in an old house. It's probably worth having a humane catch and release trap for all size rodents. It's going to be so cramped in here with all of my stock out of there. But first job, I'm going to move this to over there. It's not an ideal solution, but it's the only one I've got. It's literally the only bit of space, bit of wall space left in the house that doesn't have a radiator or something else in front of it. So that's that. At least, if nothing else, it'll give me the opportunity to declutter, which I'm in great need of. So much stuff. Some may say too much stuff, and those people include me. This is what we're working with in here. Fairly organised apart from all the other stuff. I'm gonna move the frames from the bottom, the frames from there, and the things from the top. I'll probably get rid of that. Things from the top couple of shelves, and I wonder if I'll be able to move that with those middle boxes on, because I'm running out of space. If I took all of those boxes off, they probably would not fit in the floor space that I've got, but we'll make it work. We'll have to make it work. I remember now. I built it inside the cupboard. I look happy, but I'm furious. I'm definitely going to need a cuppa before I can't even get out of the room. I can't even get out of the room for a cuppa. That door doesn't open because there's boxes in front of it. So let's just power through and rehang this shelving unit. To be fair, I'm quite impressed at how snugly it fit in that cupboard. I'm going to just get rid of these. It's going to hopefully fit. It will definitely fit widthwise. And just to stabilise it, I'm going to tie it loosely onto those because there's no point putting more holes in the wall. And also, ain't nobody got time for that. Nothing's easy. Hope you appreciate the problems involved in filming and doing something like this. Hope you appreciate seeing this. Right, let's get you levelled up on the level. Let me push you further out. There we go. Alright. Bish bash bosh, let's go for it. No! Shelf's in the way. Oh my god. You know when you're like, why do people rent office spaces and spend so much money? Okay, situation. That shelf is too low for the height of the shelving unit. I've just come over here to measure the width of these shelves, the wooden shelves, and it should fit. It should fit. There is a shelf, tiny little shelf in the way, but that's the only option I've got. The problem is, this is the only space I have to stand. So I'm going to sliding puzzle everything out of the way of the door, definitely have a coffee, and then come back fresh. You know, I remember when I put this shelving unit up and I was in such a bad mood. I filmed it, there's a video about it. You probably didn't know I was in a bad mood when I was filming it. I was in such a bad mood, it's all coming back to me. But now I'm 41 and my back hurts. And I used to laugh at people when they said, oh, you reach your 40s and your back will hurt. My back hurts all the time now. Constantly feels like it's just about to give way. Oh well, I get to put my my little cabinet back to where it was. Let's just try and look on the silver linings. I'm going to squeeze out of the door, make a coffee, come back fresh-faced. I'm furious. I'm furious with myself for having so much stuff. Furious. But I was just talking to my sister. Hang on, bear with me. I was just talking to my sister on my little lunch break. And if nothing else, it's going to be a really good opportunity to sort out. Have a bit of a life laundry. Much needed. Heck. I have to find somewhere to set you up. I don't know what the footage is going to be like. If it's not very good, I'm just going to cut to the final thing because this is going to be painful. Here's the final thing, and I really don't like it in this location. I know it's not going to be a long-term thing and it's only temporary, but I don't really like that shelving unit there. And it's going to get on my nerves. I mean, one thing I could do is put it in front of the window. I'm not going to show you the window, but I could put it in front of the window, but then it'll block the light. So what I think I might try and do is have the shelving unit freestanding in the room somewhere. So like in front of the desk here. Hang on, Let me turn you around. So, like in front of the desk here, or I could move my desk all the way up to the window and have it here at the end. I think that would be a better solution, because that at the moment just isn't doing it for me. Okay, somehow I've taken everything out of the cupboard and still managed to knead the cupboard almost full in order to live. But the shelving unit is out, not fully sorted, but it'll do. That's the thing that would have taken, well, it did in fact take a really long time to sort out. So that's out now. There are still things in the cupboard, but they are easily pull-outable. If you want to see our loft hatch situation, that's what I'm dealing with. There are holes here where the wires are going up. I've just taped that around with some peppermint. Apparently rats don't like peppermint, and I've got an allotment now which has loads of peppermint, so I grabbed a bunch and I've shoved it up all the holes and taped that around. But yeah, it's just literally screwed together. It's like a bit of wood that's just screwed into the top, which is fine, but times like this it becomes a real problem. So anyway, the shelving unit's out, so when we do go up there, it's nice and easy. I'm waiting for a battery operated, I don't know if I mentioned this before, a battery operated like sonic rodent deterrent, which I'm going to put up there to make the loft inhospitable or annoying for them. I don't know if it'll work, because whatever, I don't know if that's what I'm waiting for before I go up there. You know, this shelving unit there makes me realise just how wonky everything in this house is. I mean, you might not be able to tell there, but that shelving unit is definitely on a wonk. Anyway, let the fun continue. I've got a load of old stock here, which this is one thing that's been really good about this session, is that I've managed to get my head around all of the stock situation, and I've got a load of old stock. I'm thinking about maybe doing a £1 sale. £1 or below sale, just to get rid of all the stock. All you'd need to do is pay postage and, you know, the marginal amount on there, so I can't afford to eat would be nice. Anyway, watch to the end of this video to find out if that will go ahead. It's another day and I've come in, and you know, I don't hate this here actually. The reason I used to have it in the cupboard was to protect all of my stock from the sun, because I used to store them like this, with a little bit peeking out so I could see what was what. But I'm gonna try and condense the stock that I hold. But looking at this out here, because this is how I'm stocking them, all of my words have gone today. This is how I'm storing them now. They take up less shelf space and they're protected against the sun because they're in the boxes. I'm thinking maybe I take these shelves down here and put this whole unit in this aperture, in this alcove, and then I could put my art materials, oh I don't know, I was going to say I could put my art materials in there. I'd have to put wheels on the bottom of them again to get them out, but I could potentially put their wheels back on them, and then if I needed to get into the attic, it's easily wheelable. That's a thing, isn't it? That's a thing. But it is nice having my art materials accessible there. I'm going to have to think about it. About all this something in my roof thing, I think I might have had a bit of a breakthrough. And it might be positive. Might being the operative word. Right, so I assumed when I heard scurrying, and it still might be, that it was some kind of rodent. And it sounds like this. Right, hang on. That kind of sound. It's not moving, really. It's not like running, it's like scurrying in one place. The last couple of days, I've found 3 big black ground beetles in my bedroom. Now, I just assumed, because I've put some, I thought it was rats, it might still be rats. I read that rats don't like peppermint. Got some peppermint in the allotment. I picked the peppermint and I've shoved it up by the hole. I just assumed those beetles came off the mint. Turns out ground beetles don't like mint either. And when I was freeing this one here, because I'd noticed one on the carpet, Rolly was trying to catch it because it's his favourite prey, bugs and stuff like that. So I got a bit of paper and I got a jar and I was trying to catch it, and I noticed the sound of its legs on the carpet was like, so similar to what I've been hearing above, and quite loud as well, because these ground beetles are like, just over a centimetre big. It's definitely not cockroaches, definitely not anything like that. You know, I've double checked. I am thorough with stuff like that. It's a ground beetle. And when I looked into it, I found out they don't like peppermint. So I thought, well, it can't really be coming off the peppermint if it doesn't like peppermint and peppermint repels them. And then I'm like, can they infest your houses, or can they live in houses, or are they an outside bug? Turns out they can live in houses. Turns out they can live in your attic. Suddenly, this all seems far more doable. So, in my bedroom, I have taped up, I'll show you actually. So this is what I've got going on at the moment. Pay no attention to how bad the plastering is in our room. And it's basically like the messiest room in the house. No one else sees it. We see it at night. It's fine. We can live like this. These pipes go to the water tank. I know it's gross and awful. We literally haven't done anything to this room apart from move our own furniture in. I've put... Hang on, can you hear that? You heard that right. I've lived in a house that once had... It was like an old converted barn. And you could hear... It was either birds or rats or mice or all three running across. These guys stay just by the edges. Now, I know there might be nesting... But that sounds so similar to the ground beetle's legs. And if it was walking on rubble and stuff, which I'm assuming is in this old attic, much like all of the stuff, like the coal mortar and stuff, so you can see there, that's a chunk of coal mortar that we've exposed. Anyway, what I've done to try and ascertain, apparently ground beetles head towards the light, which is why sometimes they get stuck in your house if they come through cracks in your mortar and stuff like that. So I've put my daylight bulb up there. Not the intended use that I thought it was going to get. I've taken the mint out that I can reach. This is mint, but I can't reach that. And I've put a Tupperware. Oh, it's so dusty up here. We're mingers. I've put a Tupperware taped to the wall with a little paper slide. And my light, hopefully, this is my theory, they're going to come towards the light, they're going to slide down the wall and hopefully get stuck in my little trap. I'm hopeful, because like I say, they seem to be just staying in very small areas, unless they're nesting. I mean, I'm not going to try and second guess it, but I could always hear them. But ground beetles are more active during the night time, so maybe that's why I'm hearing increased activity during the night. But I can always hear the... I'll update you. Anyway, it's given me the opportunity to have a really good sort out with my studio. Well, it's been a journey, guys. Still no update on what is up there, but it's all still in the same place, the sounds. So I'm hopeful, but open-minded. I'm very prepared for it not to be good news. But as you've just seen there, the sale is now live. So if you want to get involved in the great £1 or less sale, go and head to embersandink.co.uk. That's my website. Please bear in mind that due to world events such as tariffs and Brexit and all of that kind of stuff, I am only one person. So I am only selling in the UK. I'm really sorry if you are outside the UK and you can't get involved in that. But like I say, I'm only one person. I can only do so much. I hope you understand. I'm sure you do. You're pretty nice guys out there. So if you are in the UK and you want to get involved, head along to embersandink.co.uk. That's me. And help me clear some space, clear some old stock, get yourself some bargains. If you head along to embersandink.co.uk, which is my website, on the main page there are two links. One is to the £1 or under sale, but also go and check out the general everything else sale as well. There's two different things there. So one is the £1 or less sale, and the other thing is a load of other stuff that is still heavily discounted but is more than £1. So I've got some art prints which were £20, now £5. Other bits and bobs. Just go and get yourself along and have a little look. why not? So this is where I'm going to leave this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it was just a lot of moving stuff around, but if I've got to go through it, you've got to go through it as well. That's just the deal of the daily-ish vlogs. So if you did like this video, maybe consider giving it a thumbs up and a like or a comment, or if you're not already subscribed, why not subscribe? Because contrary to what this video shows you, I do actually do illustration-y things as well, and I've got a load of art prints that I want to mount. Some of you mentioned in the comments that you want also to learn the skill of mounting, so maybe I'll make it a little tutorial type video. That's coming up anyway, once we've figured out what the situation is up there. So to keep in the know, get yourself subscribed and click the notification bell and you'll get notified whenever a new video comes up. Right, I am leaving this video here now because I need to go and edit it. So thanks so much for joining me, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. So until then, bye.